Good morning, everybody. It's Xenon here. It's Monday morning. We're doing D&D Monday. What can I say? It's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that, since we last played, and hopefully we'll actually get a full session in today. We've only played one session so far in the 3 weeks we've been attempting, or 4 weeks we've been attempting to try. So, fingers crossed for D&D this week. With me, I have Rose. Say hello, Rose. Rose. Hello. There you go. New iPad's working well. What's the name of your character, Rose? Just so everyone knows. What's his or her surname? Temple Child. Okay. Temple Child. It'll be important to Gobbly at some point in the future. We also have with us Lemposs, who will be playing Vigor Vedrum, the paladin with a big sword, who does at least twice as much damage as Gobbly on a really good day. And also we have the DM, Lyman, who's playing the DM. So hello, Lyman. Well done, everybody. Okay, so without further ado, I shall hand it over to Lyman, who will start the proceedings, and we'll get on with it. Let's go. Oh shit! You know what I did or didn't do? I didn't unmute everybody, so nobody heard you say anything. Just to annoy you. Well done, me. Well done, me. All right, very quickly, Rose. What's your character's name?
My name is Asher Templechild.
And you're the half-elf rogue.
I am the half-elf rogue.
Lemposs, what's your character?
Vigor Vedrum.
The
paladin.
The paladin, who does lots of damage and has lots of hit points. DM is Lyman, who's been playing everybody else.
That's me.
That's me. All right, let's go. Go.
Well, it's going to be next day from when we last left off. So if you guys want to do anything early morning, ball's in your court.
The only thing I've got to do is roll up my hit points on the stream.
That's very true.
So my current hit points are 7, and I have, because I'm level 2, I should get 2 hit dice now. Yep. So I shall change my hit dice to 2. I only get, I've used 1, so I only get 1 back. But
this bit that you just changed to 1 should be 6 because it's the D that you roll is the big number on the sheet.
Oh, right, I see. So it's not die 1, it's die 6.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then if you click on hit dice where it says it, it will roll your hit dice in the chat anyway, and then will roll your HP as a result.
Let's see what happens. I rolled a 5. So I get 6 extra hit points, which almost doubles my hit points. From 7 to 13. Oh, yeah. So that will take me up to 13. Right, so I have now 13 hit points. I've just about doubled. Like, oh, I'm so much tougher than I was yesterday. It's unbelievable. Okay. Gobbly has leveled up.
Yes, you guys wake up in the morning, you see Gobbly's sporting some new muscles.
Comes in flexing.
So yeah, up to you guys. What do you want to
do? So let's have a very quick recap, because it might have been a little while since some of us played last. What did we do? What happened last time?
Last time, you guys were paid to do a job for the local guards who are understaffed to do it themselves, to go clear out what they believed was a bandit camp. You guys went in there, killed a few people, took a few prisoners, and then when you reached the final room, you encountered a robed man who went on a short monologue about how, so you finally found him, and it doesn't matter, his work here is done. And whilst you guys were busy finishing off the last of his minions, he disappeared through what you assumed was a portal. On returning back to the town, you bumped into a man who's a member of the Watchers, which Vigar and Asher would know, are a group that work to fight against corrupted magic like necromancy. And Asher pointed him in the direction of the guard's house where you had sent the prisoners you'd captured whilst there. And after that, you guys got paid, you come back here, had a bite to eat before all heading off to bed. And that's where we start off again now, next day.
How early is it this early morning?
It's up to you guys. When do you want to wake up?
It's the crack of 10:30 a.m.
Basically, yeah.
Cool. So I guess you wake up to the smell of breakfast being cooked downstairs.
Oh, didn't someone get covered in mud or dirt or something? I seem to remember. Maybe that was a different game. That might have been a different game. My bad. As you were.
Well, the amount of times that Goblin got knocked around, you probably have some dried blood and whatnot on your clothes.
I thought somebody was slept upside down in a cupboard. And am I thinking the right game?
No, that wasn't us.
Oh, okay.
No.
I thought somebody slept in a cupboard or something.
Nope.
Didn't that? No. Okay. That's a different game. Fair enough.
Yep.
It's been a while.
I specifically remember basically you completely failing to try and underpay the barman, and so I basically had to put some of your costs onto my tab.
Well, in Goblin's defense, he didn't get paid, so he was promised a lot of silver and got very little silver. In fact, he got I think 35 copper pieces, and he thought he would be rich, but it turns out 35 copper pieces doesn't buy a lot.
To be fair, you still got your life, which is quite a nice thing.
Well, that is worth something. It's probably barely more than 35 copper pieces.
True. But yeah, so Asher and Bram would walk down sort of fairly sort of late in the morning, sort of, 10:30, 11. Graham and Lucille, the other two companions that Asher has with him, would have been down there sort of earlier, sort of a more normal workers start of sort of 7:30 a.m. sort of thing. So they would have been down there for a while already.
Goblin will probably come down. I don't know, what time would he come down? I imagine him waking up early, but not because he's like an early riser, just because he's that sort of nervous sort of goblin who can never sleep very long. So I've probably been down at the bar in the corner for a while. In fact, I might even move myself to the corner next to the darts.
Would you have just literally gone there and just stood there for the?
Well, I probably would have ordered breakfast. But yeah, I think I probably would have kept to myself more or less. In fact, I might even put myself over here. There's a guy sitting there. Damn it. There's no tables in the corner with nobody at them. So I guess I'll just stand in the corner.
You probably could have gone to one of those booths up top.
Oh, perfect.
They have nice booths to hide yourself in.
Oh, even more. It's even more cornery. Perfect. Yes. I'm hiding in the corner. And every now and again, somebody comes to sit in the booth, not realizing I'm there, and I growl at them. Tiny, tiny goblin growl.
You notice that the other patrons have given that booth a bit of a wide berth since this morning.
Well, I did.
Well, I guess that's the way Goblin likes it.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing this morning. What about Vigor?
What about you, Vigor?
Vigor! Lemposs, we're talking to you. Is Lemposs even here?
Have we lost Lemposs?
He's typing in Discord.
And I'm talking back. Yeah, we can't hear him. Okay.
Try leaving and rejoining the call.
Yeah, I had to leave and rejoin in order to get it to work. It was weird. I'm not hearing anything. His little green bar's not going up and down.
Yeah, I'm not seeing him pop up.
I'll just check the microphone settings. It was working alright earlier.
Yeah, we had him earlier.
Okay. Well, I guess he can work on that while we keep going. Let's assume Vigor is down there eating and or drinking.
Okay. Seems like a really quiet morning. You haven't seen anybody come in. Any of the guards come in today. If you ask the bartender about work or anything like that, also no, it seems like a quiet day today.
So is Asher actually at that
goes
big
back to
long
the
table,
drinks.
like he is on the screen?
Asher and his companions would actually be sat back at that table, sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay. After a while of you sitting at that table, Gobbly will eventually join you in there. There's no
enough.
corners, so I guess I'm going to just sit in the middle.
Yeah. As Asher came down, he would sort of hand Lucille the shirt he was wearing yesterday, the one that he got stabbed in, basically, and sort of say, "Lucille, darling, could you see about fixing the hole in that? It's really nice silk, and I just don't want it to go to waste." But other than that, yeah, he'll basically, as he orders breakfast from the bartender, he'll sort of inquire if there's any tailors in town, like quite nice ones.
The bartender would tell you that no, there's no tailors. Best you could probably do is general store. Old lady there might give you a bit of work on sewing.
He shakes it and says, "That's not what I have in mind, but thank you."
Bartender just nods, goes back to serving up the last of breakfast to the patrons that are in there.
What's the name of the town that we're in? Do we know?
You do know. I, in all my wisdom, forgot to open the thingy with it in 1 second.
That's okay, I completely forgot to open up the drive documents as well.
I don't have them either.
It was shared in the Discord chat.
Yeah, I know I have them, but I just don't have them open.
Yeah.
Willow Dock is where you guys are.
Willow
It's
Dock.
a small, growing village right on the edge of the sea.
But not so big that it has a tailor.
No.
Okay.
Or at least a dedicated tailor.
If you'd been here for a while, because I'm not sure if Asher had been, Gobbly you might know because you know the area.
Yeah.
Over the past couple of years or so, the village has expanded quite rapidly. Asher, if you've been here for a while, you've probably heard that that's the reason the guards are understaffed. The population has grown, but the guards haven't been replenished.
Asher would have basically just rocked into town like almost probably the day before the guard asked for help. He would be a relatively recent addition to this area.
Okay, well, same would also be Vigor if he'd been here for any time. But I can't speak to Lemposs right now. Should we try should we try Callum's TeamSpeak?
We can. Yes.
We can try.
I don't have any of the details, so someone's going to have to PM them to me.
It's quite simple. If he's even still got it open.
I don't think he launched it because we weren't going to need it.
Of course not.
And he's not online, he's probably gone to bed.
There is another TeamSpeak channel.
I'm guessing if we close this call and...
Oh, yeah, we can actually restart this call. That might help.
Yeah, if we just try restarting the call, see if that helps.
Alright, I shall leave the call. We are all left. Okay, apologies for the technical issues. It always happens. Just as you start playing, you realise that nothing bloody works. So, yeah, we are starting the second episode of D&D this morning. I am playing... I forgot to actually tell everybody. That's a phone call. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Lemposs, say something. Say something.
Something.
Hey, there we go.
We have Lemposs. What about Rose though?
No, we can't have everybody. Three is more than more than we can handle.
You would just have to take turns.
Yes, we have to just disconnect and reconnect every time someone wants to talk. Oh, dear.
boy.
Dear. Hang on, she's disconnecting and reconnecting. Hello, Rose. Nothing. What is going on here? It's like he or she who disconnects last shall not be able to speak.
Apparently so.
How about now?
I can hear you now.
Wait,
I can hear
can you
Line
still
Man.
speak?
Ah, shit.
And now we can't hear Lemposs. Fuck's sake.
It's like we can only have 3 people talking at once. What the fuck?
Oh, Jesus.
What is going on?
Are you still there, Lemposs?
I had exactly the same issue before. Oh, hang on. I saw his little green thing go up. Say it again, Lemposs.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Rose?
Yay! Yep, I'm still here.
Line Man?
I'm here.
Oh, just for a second there, I thought you were going to be silent. Expect it to drop out again and have issues all the way through the stream, so that'll be fun. Okay. Where were we? Yeah, so we're having breakfast.
Oh.
Yeah. So Gobbly will eventually slink over after having spent sort of probably from like 7 a.m. till 10:30 when everybody actually arrived. He would sort of slink over and not say anything and just sort of insert himself at the table. But he won't announce himself or probably even make eye contact with everybody because he's still not sure if the sort of not impromptu or the unsaid deal that they made yesterday to sort of, let's hang around and be friends because Gobbly doesn't have a lot of friends.
Asher would think friends is a strong word, but he'd sort of...
Well...
As Gobbly sort of slinked up to the table, he would say, "Good morning. How did sleeping in an actual bed treat you?"
Yeah, it was fine. And like you can probably imagine that Gobbly, even though he had a bed, probably didn't sleep on it. He probably still slept on the floor, simply because that's the sort of thing he would be used to.
Yeah.
So yeah. Sorry, I'm still trying to organise my spells. Spells, that's right, spells with an S. More than one.
So,
And my book is falling.
what is Vigor doing?
Yeah, I was going to say.
That was the next question, yes. Vigor! Oh, there we go.
I don't know.
Well, what time do you reckon that Vigor would get up in the morning?
Early.
How early's early for Vigor? Talking like crack of dawn or...
Yeah, probably.
So what would you have done during the morning then? Just had breakfast and hung around?
Oh no. Morning exercise. Absolutely.
Cool. Would you be down here with these guys around their time, 10, 11? Or would you be out doing exercises and whatnot?
No, I'd probably be at the table with them.
Okay. Well, now the question is, do you guys just stay here for the remaining day, or...
Yeah, all day, we hang around.
If nothing happens, Asher will basically just start getting bored and then just sort of almost just instinctively just sort of stand up and just say, "I'm going for a walk. Does anyone want to come with?"
Gobbly looks around like not exactly sure if he's allowed to walk around the town, even though he has the piece of paper saying, it's okay for him to be here. He still doesn't really want to be pushing his luck. What about Vigor?
Vigor?
I guess I'd walk with.
Cool. So you guys go out walking around the village. Not very much to walk around and see, to be fair. And as you're passing near the guardhouse again, you see coming out of the guardhouse is the Watcher. And he notices Asher, nods towards you, and as he's passing, he says to you, "I was told you captured these prisoners.
That we did, yes, as well as eliminated a lot of their comrades.
Yes, I heard that as well. I heard you were quite efficient.
They paid us to be.
He smirks slightly and says, tell me, did you hear anything else down there beyond what you've told me?
I heard some muffled shouting through a door, but my friend Vigar here would be able to tell you more. He was in the room at the time.
Oh, that's right. Vigor was hitting stuff with his sword while that was happening, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and I was on the other side of a door, sort of not listening to the monologuing.
So yeah, he looks up at Vigor and says, care to tell me what you heard?
I don't recall.
It was like
Something about evil.
Gobley was also there, although I don't think he was in the same room.
How
The
do you hear
goblin was in the
other room?
doorway, so you would have heard it.
But are you with us currently?
Gobley, yeah, he'd be tagging behind. Basically, he goes wherever the group is.
Fair enough. Asher would sort of pipe up and sort of say, I do remember the Watchers being called out. That was said with some venom. Like, I could even hear it through the door. So that's why I let you know about the situation.
He nods and says, well, I suppose it doesn't matter. If only we were back in my home, we have our ways of extracting information there. But seems like over here in Baharon, they don't like those kind of methods.
They won't talk?
Oh, I could make them talk, but I'm not allowed to while we're here. Different laws, different kingdoms.
That is a lot of loyalty from bandits.
Perhaps, but my normal methods, as I say, aren't legal here. And I'm pretty sure my superiors wouldn't want a diplomatic incident on their hands. Then he says, no matter, I'm on my way now to find wherever their boss might have gone.
Do you have a name, Sir Watcher?
Within the order, yes. We're not as... we don't share those publicly, I'm afraid. And he smirks.
Asher would sort of bow his head sort of semi-respectfully and say, that is quite fine. I am Asher. This is, as you probably heard, Vigar. And the one hiding slightly back there is Gobley.
Gobley waves from
He's
behind a
tame.
barrel.
He's tame, sort of. He helped us as well.
A smile appears on the Watcher's face and he says, yeah, a few of the prisoners mentioned a goblin there. They seem to be under the impression it was a pet.
More, Asher will honestly sort of say, more a guide. He was the one who actually alerted the guards to where the bandits were and led us to them.
He's still sort of smirking and looking at Goblin, just says, well, doesn't look like he'd be able to tie his own shoelaces, much less guide. No matter. And he looks back at you, Asher, and says, will you be in town much longer, in case I need more questions?
I would not see any reason to leave just yet, but I tend to find that my feet feel better on a road.
He just nods and says, you and me both. Speaking of, I'd better hit mine. And he walks off back towards where his horse is hitched up at the front. Gate's a bit of a strong word, more like entrance into the main road from the town.
Should we, just as an idea, should we go and try and interrogate the prisoners?
And I was actually going to say, sort of, Asher waits until he sort of mounted the horse and riding out of town, and then sort of turns to Vigor and says, "Do you want to go ask some questions?"
And Goblin says, "What's in it for us?"
Nothing necessarily. I'm just interested.
I would give Goblin a chance to try out his new spell. Goblin is up for
What does Vigor say if
enhanced
he is still
interrogation
here?
techniques. Vigor!
What?
It's a chance for you to hit somebody with your sword.
Oh my.
We're asking if you want to go interrogate the prisoners.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. You guys head back to. Oh God, what the hell's happened here? All right, my roll 20's frozen. Give me a sec.
Uh-oh. Because we're all still in the tavern.
Yeah, I didn't move you out of the tavern before, but I just tried to change tab and then drag you to it, and it decided to freeze on me.
Oh no!
I'm just waiting for it to get past the. Hey, if you buy premium, there we go. Now I can drag you guys. So yeah, you head back to the guards' little building they have set up, and as you walk in, the captain looks up at you. He's like, "You've been paid. What do you want?"
We just spoke to the Watcher outside.
As you say the Watcher, he's just, and he like puts his hand on his head and sort of sinks down a bit. He's
He
like,
does have a bit of
"Yes."
a stick up his ass, doesn't he?
Yeah, you could say that.
Now, he mentioned his disappointment in your refusal to torture these gentlemen, which I completely understand and agree with.
Yeah, it's
but,
not. Oh, sorry.
but I was wondering if we could talk to them, given our reputation with them, and they may open up slightly.
Just quickly, Lemposs is going to sleep because he's shattered. So we can keep playing for now, and I'll just, I'll control Vigor and make him hit shit for us.
Roger.
Excellent.
But yeah, he says, "Well, here's the issue. If you're going to go in there and start wanting to use the kind of shit that those Watchers do, I can't let you do that. It's my
we
job
would
to
stay
keep the law.
this side of the bars, I promise you. You can come with us.
It's not just keeping this side of the bars, it's keeping magic and potions and shit like that away from them. Because if anything happens to them while they're under my charge without an official order for them to get harmed, it's my arse on the line, understood?"
They have official orders for that?
It's more than kept to like a strict code of what you're allowed to do to prisoners. Like public executions and things like that do exist, but while they're under the custody of someone who works for the kingdom. Think like how police aren't allowed to beat prisoners into confessions, that kind of thing.
Well, Goblin says we could coerce them a little bit. I mean, there would be no permanent damage.
He looks down at Goblin and just says, "No, there'll be no fucking damage.
Well,
especially not from you."
Let us just see where talking gets us first.
He says, "Well, you're welcome to do that if you want." And then he just shouts out like, "Eddard!" And Eddard comes over, opens the door, he's like, "Yeah," and he goes, "Gonna talk to the prisoners," and he's like, "All right, come on then." So you can drag you guys in. So where you want to be in the room? So inside you
Asher-
see...
Asher, as he walks in, he walks over and sort of grabs this chair and just drags it over to the bars and sort of sits on it, facing the prisoners.
Mhm. You see in
He's sort of
here...
smiling.
You see in here, first off, the guy that you knocked unconscious. You got this guy in the middle who was the one who seemed to be leading the group that surrendered to you, and the final guy was the last man who walked out with him. The guy that was kind of in charge of that little group, looks up at you, realizes who you are, and just says, "Well, you kept your part, I suppose. I'm not fucking dead yet, am I? What do you want?
I came here to talk
About what?"
about what you guys were doing in that ruin.
He sighs and goes, "So you're with the Watcher then, after all?"
I am not with him. As you can see, he is not here. He is probably riding out to talk to these guys' superiors and get permission to torture the living daylights out of you.
When you say that, he kind of like blows his head like he's aware that that's probably a possibility. And then looks back at you and goes, "Yeah," and then you wouldn't keep your side of what you promised, would you?
I promised you would be brought here safely. I cannot... This is out of my hands now. I am not part of the legal system here. However, if you tell us what the Watcher wants to know, then he would have no reason to torture you. That just seems like basic logic to me.
Well, don't you think if I was smart enough to give myself up to you,
I
realising
mean,
you were
look at
probably
Gobley
going to
here.
kill me?
Just the other day, he was on the same side of the bars as you, and now he's an upstanding citizen, able to walk around town unharmed.
Gobley at this, like, being talked up like this, he sort of stands up straight like, "Oh yeah, I'm an upstanding citizen, yeah." Starts getting a little bit full of himself. And like, lording it over the guys behind the bars.
The guy replies saying, "Oh, so you mean you trained it to shit in a box?"
I'm saying it's smart enough not to get tortured.
Gobley didn't need any training. Okay.
He says, "Well, don't you think that I'd be, if I'm smart enough to surrender to you guys, realizing you were going to tear me a new one the same way as you did everyone else, that I would tell the Watcher what he wants to know if I knew what the Watcher wanted to know?"
What?
He's asking me questions about the occult, necromancy, shit like that. I ain't got a fucking clue. I was paid to do a job, I did that job.
Can I insight check this fucker? Because I don't believe him at all.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do this thing.
I got 10.
Where's my insight there? I didn't do any better.
Well, as far as you can tell, he's telling the truth.
So, I have a spell that will... It's very obvious and dramatic, but it won't actually harm them in any way. Well, at least not permanently. Actually, it won't actually harm them at all. I don't want to blind everybody in the area, though. Let's just have a look and see how it works. Oh, it actually works in a cone. Okay.
Do you mean colour spray?
Yeah. So... it only lasts... Oh, it doesn't actually last that long. Okay. Because I was just going to use, like, just essentially blind them and try and intimidate them into, I don't know, talking.
Click on it, but I'm pretty sure with the amount of dice it rolls that you're easily going to be able to blind them anyway.
Alright, let's roll. So, Gobley says something like, what would he say? You tell us now or I'll blind you forever. Cast at level... Oh, can I cast at a different level? Oh, I can cast... Oh, shit, fine. I'll cast at level 1. It's probably more than I need. So
Yeah,
I get 33.
Basically, if you'd rolled all ones, you might have managed it, but yeah. So, Gobbly reaches out a hand, and out of his hand comes rays of just blinding light and all flashing colours. And they all wince backwards, start covering their face, and say, "Oh, what the fuck!" And
Can I just say,
Eddard,
Gobbly, stop it.
Eddard rushes over and he's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
And I'm just like hands in the air, like Gobbly does nothing. Gobbly did nothing.
Can I just do a
Oh.
persuasion check on Eddard, saying just trust us, go with this?
Okay, roll persuade for me, and Xenon, you need to roll d20.
Okay.
Ouch.
Oh, I do need to roll a d20. Yes, you're quite right.
I remembered this time.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about it. 8.
Okay.
So yeah, I got a 12 to persuade him. Hopefully we're in his good books from yesterday.
Eddard just looks at you both and says, "The boss said no fucking magic to the Watcher. I'm pretty sure that counts to you guys as well. Just cut it out, alright?"
Gobbly's not part of the local constabulary. Perhaps not bound by their rules?
Eddard looks around Asher at you and goes, "No, you're bound by our rules while you're in our town. This is in our town."
Yeah, shit. Gobbly hides behind Asher. Something like...
What effect does it actually have
all
on
it
the
does is blind them
prisoners?
for like 6 seconds.
But I mean, like, what effect does it have on them, sort of emotionally, sort of that sort of thing?
Well, by the time you're done speaking with Eddard, they're already coming back round. And the guy that had the issue with Gobley before, he walks up to the, like, stammers up to the cage and tries to fit his leg between the cage bars to try and kick Gobley. He's like, "You fucking little shit."
Gobbly's got to stand slightly back out of foot range.
Yeah, he's just at the cage. You can barely see you, like his eyes are all watering.
Okay.
It's just like, oh. And he looks up at Asher and says, "First off, tell your fucking little rat bag to piss off. Second off, I didn't tell the Watcher jack shit because I don't know jack shit, alright? I was paid. That's all that fucking matters to me."
Who paid you? A name?
I don't have a name, alright? Look, I used to
You're
be a
telling me
lawman.
that you followed some weird cloaked dude who, let's just be honest, he screamed cultist. He went on a monologue. You knew he was working against the Watchers. I mean,
He wasn't the one that paid me.
then who did pay you?
Another camp they used to run with. It was a job given to them. I got paid by the boss down there.
Where is this camp?
Fucked if I know. It was way up north, and besides, they move around all the time. Can't stay in one place, or the brothers will catch up to you.
Okay, what was the name of the boss?
Garrick.
He must have had a name, even if it was Baby Eater.
Garrick.
Garrick,
His name was Garrick.
the baby eater.
What was his name?
Garrick.
Garrick.
Garrik, I guess.
Garr. And you say he was a crime boss up north, or a gang boss?
Oh, what would it have been? I'm trying to think of the right word to explain it. It's not really like a gang. Think like a orc band type of deal,
Like a clan.
like
Oh,
raiders
war
kind of
bands.
thing. Yeah, like a little war band that go around stealing what they want.
So it would have been more chieftain then.
Yeah.
So orc warband chief.
So this guy was paid by his previous gang to go to this place and pull security for this random guy?
Yeah,
Asher
that's what
will
he's telling you.
turn to the other two and sort of say, "And you guys, you came from Garrick as well?"
The this guy just looks at you, doesn't say anything, and he just looks completely blank, like he's completely out of it.
All right,
And
Gobley's going to make a motion like he's going to hit him with the color spray again.
he doesn't even flinch. He's just staring blankly.
Probably still blind.
Can I inside check him?
Yeah.
We're not very insightful today, are we?
No.
As far as you can tell, the guy's just broken. Like, he's resigned to his fate, basically.
And what about Mr. Spartan on the left?
The Spartan guy, when you ask, just nods.
Okay, and then sort of once I got the confirmation from the Spartan guy, I'll point to the guy in the middle and say, "What's his story?"
The guy in front of you looks over at him and just goes, "I don't fucking know. He was already there. He hasn't spoken a word since we got here to us. Don't think I spoke to him when we were there either."
All right, Gobley's going to pull Asher aside and just sort of go point to the the guy that doesn't speak, and say, "I think that's the one we need to break."
I think you're right.
Gobley likes pointing out the obvious. Okay.
Yeah, sort of Asher sort of responds and sort of says, "Well spotted, friend. Little friend."
Gobley beams. He's like, "I'm helping." Okay, so what are we going to do to break this fucker? Since he's not talking.
I'm trying to think what we can do without resorting to torture.
I could
Not
hit
that
him.
Asher would resort to torture.
I mean, I could hit him with color spray again, but that would basically be me for the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I could also hit him with another spell, but I think they might get angry if I do that.
Can I just do a perception check on him? Sort of, again, does he have like any cult markings, scars, tattoos?
Yeah, roll perception.
This is one of the temple monk dudes, isn't it?
This was one of, basically, I'm just going to call him a cultist, because I think that's what he is right now.
Okay. Oh, dude.
Jesus.
What did you do last night? He wasn't sleeping.
I got stabbed.
Well, whatever you're into. He looks to you like the kind of guy you'd see working a field. That's about as far as you can tell. His clothes are ragged, look quite old. He's the only reason you can tell he hasn't been working in a field is that he's pale, and well, you found him inside a meant to be abandoned fortress. So
Yeah. There were a couple of these guys, in the temple, weren't there? These cultist dudes.
There
yeah,
were
they weren't all dressed the same, but as far as you can tell, they were kind of like underlings. They took orders from other people, and
So he hasn't got the wide-eyed stare of someone who's been who's been brainwashed or anything like that. He's just not receptive to talking.
yeah, he's just. It's like he's staring past you when you try and speak to him.
Just checking, because I can't remember, but Asher might be able to remember in character. Did the masked or hooded guy give a name? Like,
No,
in referring to himself?
no. All he said to you was that, oh, so the washers? Jesus.
The washers.
Yeah, the Watchers have found me. Oh, damn. The Watchers have found. I see the Watchers finally found me. No matter my work is already done. Was basically his little monologue.
Fair enough. I don't think I have anything which
I've
could
got
break
nothing
this
else.
guy.
I think we're going to have to leave and maybe, I don't know, rethink
Uh,
this.
Let me quickly look at Vigard's spell list and see if he would have anything that would be not blatantly obvious as spraying him in the face with colour.
Yes, I mean I've got a spell, but it's not exactly discreet.
I mean, I have ideas, tricks we could pull, but if this guy's basically a brain dead cultist, they're not gonna work. It would have to be some sort of, hypnosis or magic or something.
Yeah. I mean that is sort of up Gobley's strata, but it's not spells that he's taken. So
Yeah.
As you guys are talking among yourself, Eddard will walk over and just say, well, anything else?
Asher would relate to him that basically, pointing to the two sort of more scoundrels, he would say, well, these guys came from up north, a orc war band led by a guy called Garrick. I don't suppose you've heard the name?
Eddard just nods and says, yeah, that's what they told us as well. We sent a rider back to the capital to see if what they're saying is at least somewhat substantiated.
But this chap, pointing at the cultist, he's not said a word.
Eddard smirks slightly and just said, yeah, and he's really pissed off the captain with that.
I can see why. Turning to the two criminals, Asher would say, you two, could you open his mouth for me?
This guy, I should give him a name, shouldn't I?
John Smith.
He looks at you and says, fuck off, I ain't going anywhere near his gob.
Are you talking figuratively or literally?
Literally, I want to see inside his mouth to see if his tongue's been cut out.
Ah.
He says to you, like, is this some sort of sick torture you're trying to do here? Maybe I would be better off with the Watcher.
He's not talking. I wanted to see if he was mute. That was all.
He looks at the guy and back at you and sort of like, yeah, I suppose it would make sense if he was. And I'd rather know that I'm not in here with some demon or something. And he looks over at Spartan guy and just says, do it. To which the other guy's sort of shaking his head. He's like, you either fucking do it or... Well,
Gobley,
I guess I can't
Gobley
kill you,
does his spell stance again. He's like, "Argh," getting ready to hit him with the color spray again.
He just covers his eyes and then realizes you haven't done it and sort of looks back and just goes, all right, fine, but you owe me. And he walks over and opens the guy's mouth towards you and still a tongue in there.
So tongue, okay. So I will say, just the quiet type then.
And as he lets go of his mouth, the guy's mouth just slams shut again and he continues staring forwards.
So down here at the bottom of the thing, where the wall is at the bottom, what are these big circle?
Down here.
No, down the what are these big circle shaped things?
It's sort of like what would be the best way of describing it? You know how when you've got a basement type building, but they've got windows quite high up? It's kind of like that, facing to the outside.
Right.
So
like,
sort
really
of classic jail cell door or windows, basically.
Kind of.
Ah,
But they're just alcoved into a little wall.
maybe we could surreptitiously do something from the outside.
Yeah, I'm not so much willing to do that just yet.
I don't really have any ideas about how you can make this fucker talk. Obviously, convincing him's not working. Even the color spray didn't really seem to affect him that much. Let's go and brainstorm. We'll come back.
Yeah, we'll head back to the tavern and sort of brainstorm.
Okay.
Sort of.
So you guys... hold on, I'll drag you back. There we go. Go ahead.
Basically, as we go out, we'll talk to the captain, sort of say, sort of describing the two thieves and sort of saying they're obviously just bandits, but that the quiet one, he may be worth handing over to the Watchers, I'll be honest. He seems to be actually involved in the magic and devilry we saw there. I know you can't do that without orders from higher ups, but maybe it's something to send a letter to them for. At least it gets it out of your hands.
And the captain just goes, "Yeah, you're telling me shit I already know. I didn't think you'd be able to get anything from them. But you seem pretty adamant on trying. Anyway, yes, I've sent off to get orders about what to do with them. The governor was reluctant for me to do that, but honestly, fuck him. This is bigger than he is, as much as he might like to think otherwise."
Asher sort of grins and shrugs and says, "You can't blame curiosity, especially after we saw several of their friends die quite determinedly to protect one apparently rogue wizard."
He just sighs, and he's like, "Yeah, well, nothing I can do, nothing you can do." And just goes back to writing, or whatever he's writing. And then he glances back at you and is like, "Anything else?"
No, that with that, Asher would just walk out.
Gobley's following. So on our walk back, I think Gobley would sort of go, like, what are we trying to achieve here? I mean, it'd be nice to get the information out of that guy, but we're kind of impotent in that we couldn't really smash his face in like we'd like to.
Well, little friend, my plan is honestly, seeing as this short adventure seems to have come to an end, I'm going to spend the next few days at the tavern, and if nothing else comes up, I'm hitting the road and moving on to the next town. I'm sure something will land in my way eventually. That's how my life tends to work right now.
Goblin sort of looks down slightly dejectedly, like, oh, okay. Just keeps walking.
Asher sort of turns to him and says, "Do you plan to stay here?"
Goblin shrugs and like, Goblin doesn't tend to plan ahead more than a day or two in advance.
That's wiser than you might think. People tend to get too focused on the future to look at the now. Come on, I'll buy you a drink. And sort of heads back to the bar.
Okay.
So I've got nothing right now.
Yeah, Goblin's got nothing as well. I've got no way of getting information out of that guy apart from brutal tactics. I mean, we're probably gonna have to brainstorm a way to try and get information out of him that might.
I have ideas, but they're not going to work if he is like completely silent cultist guy.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could goad him into something like that, but he doesn't seem like the sort of guy that would fall for something like that, given that he's so quiet.
Yeah, if he didn't say anything to the Watcher, I don't think he'd be goaded by us.
We shall have to drink on it.
We will get very drunk on it.
All right, we go back and drink on it.
Right, so you guys get back in probably mid-afternoon, and you see Asher's little entourage sitting still at the table, sort of beckons you over when they see you've come in. And a few hours pass, and then...
Just pointing out, by this point, Graham, who's sort of the older gentleman, would basically have a like a fairly impressive pile of books on the table in front of him as he's just reading, basically. He's just reading a lot of books right now. That's sort of how he spent most of his day.
Bear with me a sec, 'cause it froze again. Typical to roll Tony decides to play up when trying to do things.
Did I do that?
No, the map just moved.
That was me logging back in and it giving me the black screen.
So this guy down the bottom, to our bottom left, he's covered in blood.
Is it actually blood?
I thought it looks like blood.
I think it is
Looks
as well.
like
I
that
thought
guy.
it was just a red t-shirt.
We should probably ask him about that.
No, I've zoomed in. That is blood.
Yeah, it is. I didn't actually zoom right in on that guy.
He must be the town butcher. It's
Yes.
fine.
Clearly.
All right, completely ignore the fact that this is actually a copy-paste job here because I couldn't actually find another token. But anyway, you've been here about an hour or so, and a guy goes in and goes up to the tavern owner, has a few words, and the tavern owner points over at you guys, and he rushes over. He's like, excuse me, you're adventurers, yes?
Yes.
Is it that obvious?
Thank you. My daughter's ill, poisoned. The apothecary said to come find people who can get the venom. Please, you got to help her.
Venom of what?
I don't know. She's been bitten by something and she's dying. I need help.
Asher sighs and then sort of says, well, maiden in despair. I'll call that standard adventuring luck.
Goblin looks at Asher and makes like the rub fingers together money symbol, like. Hmm?
Asher sort of sighs and says, I'm guessing you don't have much money.
But the man sort of looks a bit dejected for a second. He's like, I can give you her dowry if
Whoa,
and he starts to sob.
I am not looking to get hitched. Don't worry. I will do the job.
He says, no.
Asher will reach into his pouch and sort of pull out, call it 3 gold pieces sort of out of the share that he got from yesterday, and he'll slide it across the gobby and sort of say, this enough to hire your services for this adventure?
Goblin feels a little bit like, I don't want to be taking money from my friends, but at the same time, it's 3 gold pieces. That would increase his net wealth by about 30%.
It's also the fact that I'm treating you like an equal and hiring you,
Yeah.
which I think would help with Gobby's self-esteem a little.
Goblin sort of like awkwardly slides the money noisily across the table and like into his money pouch, like ka-chink, and pretending like
Asher sort
hoping
of
no one
turns to the
saw.
bloke and grins and says, we're hired.
He goes, oh, thank you, kind sir, thank you. What do we do now?
Asher basically grabs his things, which I'm guessing sort of would just sort of left underneath the table, and sort of stands up, stretching, and says, well, where did you find her?
He says, at the farm in the field, she was tending to the crops.
Okay. Is she injured? Is there a bite mark, a wound?
He says, yes. Would helping her help? Would seeing her help?
Asher thinks and goes, it couldn't hurt.
He
And
says,
then he has a
okay.
bright idea, and he turns to Vigar and sort of says, actually, you, come with me, Vigar, please.
I'm guessing Vigor would go with you.
And yes, we go to the apothecary, and
Well, the guy takes you back to his small farm shack type building, and when you go in, he shows you to his daughter, who's passed out on a bed, just completely pale. She's unconscious, and he says the apothecary says her heart's slow. It's not right. He says she might die, and then he says her wound here, and he shows you, and there's like 2 puncture marks on her leg, quite large puncture marks.
how far
Definitely
apart?
bigger than a regular spider. I'd say probably about 10 centimeters apart.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
and no one mentioned spiders now, so the fact you said bigger than the regular spider has me worried.
No, I was thinking like it's
Um,
not your typical like what you'd expect a black widow to be. It's much bigger than that. Like much bigger than
okay.
insect bites you could get in the real world. I mean,
Goblin was
yeah, 10 centimeters is pretty sizey. That's a large dog.
yeah,
yeah, it's like 2.5 inches.
I was like, I was tossing up between, is it going to be a snake or is it going to be a vampire? Because it's like, there's a big like, you know, range in between those two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Azure will turn to Vigor and say, "You're good with divine healing. Could you help this lady out before we go hunting this creature? Because I know for a fact paladins can lay on hands for 5 hit points to cure poison."
Coffee looks at you like, what are hit points?
Does it actually cure poison?
It does. Let me find the right page.
Lay on hands? Is lay on hands a spell or is that a special power?
It's an ability.
Yeah.
Alternatively, you can
Oh,
expend
yeah.
5 hit points from your pool of healing to cure the target of 1 disease or neutralize 1 poison affecting it.
Yes, you can. So yeah, Vigar will use 5 of his points then. Touch her and you see like glow come out of him. Spreads over her body and then goes back into his hand. And she slowly starts opening her eyes and you can see the colour reappearing on her face.
I turn to the farmer and say, "The poison is cured. However, we still have some questions because this beast seems dangerous and we will hunt it for you."
He's just on his knees next to her, sobbing and cuddling her. He's like barely even listening to what you're saying.
I will, now that sort of there's less of a rush, I will give them a moment, basically.
So, Gobbly wants to look at the wounds and see if he can, in his travels, have any idea what might cause a bite such as this.
Give me a nature check.
Damn it! I was hoping you were going to say survival. Okay, -1. Perfect. 13.
You know that there are several types of big insects that can do this kind of thing, which aren't uncommon in these parts. Usually they don't tend to go towards human settlements, though. Well, any settlements.
Big insects.
Yeah. You would know there's a handful of them, but you can't tell which type would cause wounds like this. But you know there are several that could do this. You also know, yes, there are larger types of naturally occurring vampires that could do things like this. But you know as well that if it had been one of those, she would be just dead.
Okay. So Gobbly relays the information that it's probably not a vampire, probably just a big insect.
Well, it still approached a girl, so it's still dangerous, and I still think we should take it out.
Okay. Gobbly is mostly on board.
Once sort of the farmer and the daughter have cried their tears and sort of had their happy reunion, Asher would sort of gently knock on the bedroom door again and say, "I need to ask you some questions."
Just as you do that, there's a knock at the front door of his little shack.
I kind of want Gobbly to answer it.
Alright, Gobbly will go ahead.
The guy looks up. The guy looks up towards the door, but if Gobbly's quick enough, you can get there first.
I would definitely run to the door.
As you open the door, you see quite an old man standing there, and he's clutching in his hands like a pouch, and you can see poking out the top of various like potions and poultices and whatnot. And he starts speaking and says like, "I've got a few things that might lower her, which might increase our chances of defeating it naturally." And as he looks up and sees Gobbly, he jumps back, drops his pouch, and is like, "Oh, what in all the holy hells?"
Gobbly says, "We're not buying any today," and then closes the door. He turns around. He's like, some potion seller, I don't know.
Asher will sort of shout out, "Come in. He's tame, mostly."
The The door slowly creaks open again, and you see him poking his head around the corner. He says like, "Where's the farmer? I'll call the guards."
And he's through here. We just cured his daughter.
And he pokes his head around the corner and goes, Come look, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. And the guy walks in, looks at her, and he's like, looks back at you, Asher, and says, "You had magical healing."
Asher will sort of defer to Vigar, sort of with a sweeping gesture, and say, "My friend over here does. He is a pillar of the community of divine and righteousness."
And as
sort
he's
of talking up Vigar deliberately.
as he's saying that, Goblin's got to run over and stand in front of Vigor.
He looks up at Vigar and is like, "I didn't know any clerics had come to these parts. We don't see many around here. Thank you so much for what you've done. There was very little that I could honestly do with what we have at hand."
Do you recognize the poison? Do you know what it might have come from?
He starts scratching his head, and he says, "Judging by how quickly it affected her and the bite wounds, I'd say some sort of arachnid."
Ugh.
Giant spiders, then.
He shakes his head and says, "Not a fully grown one, at least. A giant spider would be with much bigger wings than this."
Big spiders.
Goblin's not keen on any
He
spiders that he can't
scratches his head
stand on.
again. He scratches his head again and says, "Giant spider, giant scorpion, perhaps with 2 stings, could do similar." He says there are...
Excellent. One moment, please. He will step outside and basically do the sort of silent screaming where you bite your knuckle to muffle the sound. And sort of just have a minor freak out outside, out of sight. And then he steps back in and sort of goes, "Okay, hunt this thing."
Goblin's in the corner, just like turning green.
As you come back in, he's still talking, saying like, "Giant wasp, perhaps, or..."
That is enough, friend. I get the idea.
It's a giant.
He nods
something.
and just says, "I can safely tell you it's not demon, at least."
I think I'd probably prefer a
That
demon.
is something of a comfort. Tell me, in your satchel of things, do you happen to have any antidotes? Or anti-venoms, antitoxins?
Anti-spider.
He says, "I do, but only for much smaller creatures than that. Snake bites and the like. I've got nothing that will affect it on this scale, I'm afraid. Slow it down, perhaps, but not heal."
That is okay. We will just have to try to not get hit.
And he looks back at you after. At the time, he's sort of looking over the girl, checking her pulse, things like that. And he looks back and says, "You intend to fight this thing?"
It attacked once, it will attack again. Do you expect the guards to go traipsing through the woods?
He sort of grimaces a little. Not grimace isn't the right word. Like sort of like the knowing look of, yeah, they won't, but he's not going to outright say it. And he just says, "Well, coming here with healing magic, hunting down beasts that would harm the innocent. You people really are a godsend."
I don't think Goblin's ever been called a godsend before.
I think,
other than our friend Vigor, I think neither of us have been sent by any deity. Apart from one which maybe enjoys a good joke.
You could probably tell, Goblin, that he's more talking to Vigor and Asher and trying to ignore your presence.
But he feels included. It's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about him, probably.
Whereas Asher would sort of, take the pains to exclude himself from that.
Yeah. And he says to you, "Well, I was hoping to get in contact with one of the hunters out in the woods. He lives quite nearby to this farm. He would possibly know more about creatures like this in the area if you wish to go find him."
It sounds like a good start.
Should we find out where she was bitten? Not on herself, but location.
And Asher would sort of turn to the farmer and say, "Could you show us where you found her?"
He looks back and says, "Yes, sir, of course, of course." And he kisses
Please.
his daughter. And it's like, "I'll be
Stop
back soon."
with the sir. My name is Asher. Please.
He says, "Okay, Asher, sir, Asher. If you come with me, I'll show you where I found her." And he'll take you out into it's a cabbage patch, and he
Excellent.
shows you to where he
Lead the
found
way.
her. He shows you to where he found her, and what you can see is the obvious outline of where somebody's fallen and landed on some cabbages, and there's a hoe nearby. If you could give me a perception check, or I'd say perception or investigation.
I'm going to try investigation.
You could do the same if you're looking, Gobbly.
Gobbly's more looking at the cabbages.
Okay.
He skipped breakfast.
As far as you can tell, Asher, there are signs of a bit of a kerfuffle, but you can't tell if it was a girl falling over or if there was a fight or anything like that. And yeah, it just looks your typical field, other than the little area where she was found.
Okay.
Gobbly better investigate.
Yeah.
Oh. Yep, those are
Gobbly,
some nice
those
cabbages.
Yeah, they look really tasty. Like the best cabbages you've ever seen.
I sort of imagine Asher's investigating, and he just hears a crunching from behind him, and he turns around, and Gobby's just basically eating a raw cabbage.
Yeah. Not even like peeling the leaves off, just like an onion.
Yeah, basically.
The farmer goes to say something and then sort of pulls himself back, like, no, they helped. And it's like, and then he says, "I can tell you where the hunter is if you like, but I must stay with my daughter."
I would not ask you to go any further than this. If you could just give us directions, that would be enough.
And he says to you, thank you so much. That dirt track," and he sort of points out just past this field, and you see a dirt track going up into some wooded area. He says, "If you follow that all the way down, don't turn off of the track. It will lead you straight to his hut."
Excellent. Thank you very much, sir. And lock the door tonight, maybe. Just in case.
Of course. Trust me, I won't be sleeping tonight. I will note, though, it's getting towards evening time now. So if you head off now, you will be going in by the... Well, he will say to you, actually, like, but it's late now. By the time you get to his hut, it will already be gone dark, and there might be the creatures out there waiting for you then.
Asher just sort of grins and says, "My time in darkness isn't so much a problem for me."
Gobbly often walks around at night.
Vigar would sort of look at you and go, "Yeah, I can't see in the dark, I guess." More or less is what Lemposs would say.
This might be a two-person job.
And then Asher would just sort of happily pat him on the back and say, "I'll point out before you hit any trees."
Watch out for that. Wait, no, watch out for that one. And that one.
Like, as you head off then down into woods, it starts to get dark, and obviously Vigar eventually has to light a torch because he can't see jack shit going forwards otherwise.
Yeah, that's fine.
And as you start, like, you're continuing down the track, and give me perception checks, and I'll roll Vigar's as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck.
From that, roasted not well.
Well, I rolled a 1.
Really, I had there we are, Vigar I can see.
Yeah, Vigar can
Thank
see
God.
perfectly. For a blind man.
I'm blind.
Well, it's not what you see, it's what Vigar hears in the distance, which is a sound that Vigar's definitely used to. And he says to you, like, "Stop," and draws, like, his longsword from his back longsword, great sword, and gives Wilf, called you Wilf then, Jesus, Gobley,
With
the torch, and says, "You're gonna have to hold this."
with a light crossbow, is that one-handed? Can I torch the
Um,
crossbow?
Torches are sort of generally designed where they will still burn if you drop them.
Okay, I'm gonna hold the crossbow in one hand, even if I can't actually shoot it. And if something jumps us, I'm gonna just drop it and start shooting.
Okay. Vigar moves in front and beckons you two to follow him.
Asher follows.
I'm gonna follow behind.
If I don't know, like, if I'm not sure where he's leading, yeah, I can't sort of scout ahead.
As you're moving along, I shall draw your attention to a big whirly thing up here.
The hell?
I'm assuming you guys can see that.
Black hole in the forest.
Swirly thing alert.
Yep. And Vigar will point at it and say, "Rift portal."
Is that giving off light?
Very dim light.
Okay, because I am just... Okay, yeah, actually it's nighttime, so dim light would be enough for us to see it.
Yeah. Both of you would know that these things appear at random and tend to either bring fae or demons through, and they always tend to be just mental.
Oh, these are one of
And
the
will attack
holes
anything in sight.
from the other planes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. More so for everyone else than for us.
And Vigar will say, "I've fought these bastards before." Well, actually, this is Lemposs talking. I've fought these damn not very nice people before.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is this?
It depends on the size of the portal. Much bigger ones than this tend to bring greater demons. You wouldn't have seen any of these, I don't think, Asher. Goblin might have seen the occasional one living out in the wilderness, and probably would have stayed clear.
Definitely wouldn't have seen one of these because I've been quite sheltered for most of Asher's upbringing.
Would you ask?
I would have heard of them, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you definitely would have heard of
And
them,
so
especially
when-
with your upbringing.
Yeah, and so when Vigar sort of says Rift Portal, I'd sort of know at least what it is. And sort of say, oh.
Do you ask Vigor if it's a particularly large one or not?
Yeah, I'd say,
So,
is that a big one? Like, how much trouble is that going to be?
Vigor just looks back and says, "I've seen bigger."
Yes, but what about the portal? Okay. Well,
And then Vigor puts his hand to his head, and he starts walking this way, and says, "There are some already here, but you guys can't see anything."
Okay, I'm going to duck behind this tree, basically. Oh, that's because I still have the ruler. I'm basically going to duck behind this tree and stealth.
As you rush past Vigor,
I wouldn't say rush. I'm going to hide. That means sort of moving at half speed.
okay. Would you go past Vigor before he reaches that point? Because you can tell he's heading towards that.
I would move slowly, simply because I'm not... He says they're here. I don't see anything. I would be very cautious. Hence why I'm going to try and hide.
Okay, you might want to move out of that tile then.
Fair enough.
Do you do anything in this time, Gobbly?
I don't know. Would I would like to drop the torch and hide as well. In my ideal world, I think I would probably just drop the torch and then climb up a tree. See if I can get both A, to both hide, and B, to get a slightly better vantage point.
Does Gobbly know the light spell?
No.
Bugger.
Nope, no, I do not. He has dark vision, so it's not a big deal for him.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a thing for him. That's okay.
Will be for Vigor. What's the range from torch? It's 30 feet, isn't it? For
I think it casts
Oh.
for 30 feet and then dim light for 60 feet.
Yeah, something like that.
Just
So,
outside
yeah,
the
Vigor
range.
can-
Perfect.
yeah, more or less see up to the
Um,
portal then right now.
It's bright light for 20 feet and dim light for an additional 20 feet.
All right.
Even worse then.
So, yeah.
So you've dropped the torch
And
where? Where you were?
Yeah. So what's the button to show things?
Just,
you just
left
hold
click
left
and
click.
hold.
All right. Yeah. So I probably would have dropped it there and then scampered up a tree.
So
Okay, 1 sec, so I'll put
that's
a token
20
there.
feet
So I
in
know.
bright light, and then yeah.
Wait, no, that's not what I wanted. Come on, roll 20. Catch up. That'll
You
do.
can do it.
Or not, because it's not even adding it.
I can see it.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
can see
okay,
it.
just load on mine. I'm actually going to put a marker on it as well, because otherwise I'll completely lose track of that. Right. So as Vigor approaches here, all of a sudden something just leaps out from seemingly within the tree and goes at him. But Vigor's already prepared, so goes to stab it with his greatsword.
Yep.
Can we see what it is? Like the basic shape or?
Yes. I can tell you where it is and what it is, because yeah, I don't actually have a proper picture of it. That's just a this will be just a token I found.
Okay.
Hold
That's
on.
fair.
It's a tiny,
To
tiny dragon, isn't it?
token.
Jesus, what is that?
It's called. See, this is what I was saying earlier, that I don't actually know how to pronounce this. Where's my notes? There they are.
That's a demon if ever I saw one.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
it's a demon.
You said it wasn't a demon.
Christ,
God damn it. Although I did actually say I'd rather it was a demon. What's it? Okay.
That's what it's called in the monster manual, but I have
Quasit?
no idea how to pronounce that. Yeah. I was
Okay.
thinking Quasit, but I don't know.
Quasit? Quasit. I was about to go and look it up, and then I realised that's not. I can't do that. Okay. So presumably none of us have seen anything like this before.
Neither of you would have. I'm guessing Asher wouldn't have really received much of an education in demons outside of, yeah, they're bad.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't know what the hell that thing is.
So, yeah, Vigor was already prepared for him to jump, but completely swings and misses. And this thing goes to straight at Vigor. Roll me initiatives.
Initiative.
And this thing right now is like, yeah, he's going to instantly take an attack on Vigor. Basically, both of them were prepared for what was going to happen. So they both attack each other first.
18.
And that thing actually manages to hit Vigor.
You're rolling as Vigor, just by the way.
Yeah, I know. I switched over to rolling as Vigor and then realised that I'm also rolling other things. But anyway, yeah, Vigor gets hit by this thing.
So how does it
But
attack? Is it like two mandible things, or what's the?
It's just clawing at him, and slashing as best it can.
Okay.
Just a heads up, it is pronounced Quasit.
Okay.
So basically like Qua, Kwazit. Z-I-Z-I-T. Quasit.
Rose, could you quickly look up heavy armor master and
Yep.
see if it's rounded down or rounded up? Or is it... Oh, no, wait, no, it's just a flat -3, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just -3.
Okay. Wow, you both rolled really good
Yeah, we did.
initiative.
We can't see the turn tracker.
Yeah, I haven't added it yet.
Aha.
I was trying to do like 3 things at once. Yeah, you all did roll really high. Turn tracker. God, now I have to remember how to add things afterwards.
Right-click a token and choose Add a Turn at the top.
That's definitely it. Look, guys, it's really hard to play a character and every other character, okay?
How an absolute sympathy from a DM to another DM. In fact, yeah, we're all dungeon masters here now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these guys. What's your dex?
I've queued
Holy
about
crap.
music.
Wow, even with a +3, it rolled crap.
Oh wow, we did all roll really well, didn't we?
Yep. So Vigar gives like a roar, like you can tell he's pissed here, and using another swing this time down, tries to clobber the whatever it is,
Oh,
quasi.
there we go.
This time hitting it.
That's more like
Yep,
that's more like the bigger we know.
Yep. And although you see he gets a really nasty hit there, you see the blade go straight through, and it shimmers, but still seems to remain more or less intact, although it does look like it's not feeling particularly happy about it.
Like, so we feel like the attack didn't do as much damage as we thought it would do, or is it some sort of special thing that happened when he hit it?
You, as far as either of you can tell, it's like the sword did hurt it because it definitely staggers slightly and winces as if in pain. But you've seen him do a similar move against humans and it's cleaved them in half. Yet this thing's still remaining intact, and aside from a bit of shimmering, it doesn't look, at least on the surface, like it's been wounded too badly.
Okay. So can I intuit from that maybe spells probably work better against this thing, or at least probably, you know, conventional weapons not as effective?
Give me an investigation check to be on the safe side.
-1. 8. I probably wasn't really
You
paying that
just
much
think,
attention.
kill it.
Kill it.
Killing it
Kill
is
it
more
fire.
important.
Okay.
Would Asha know this, given her intense teaching?
You weren't really taught about demons so much, though, were you?
Oh, that's a question for Lemposs, really. Like, I had a noble upbringing, so I'm not sure how much demons and that sort of part of their world history would have come into it.
Well, they are a big deal, but since you aren't someone expected to fight them, you just know I'll let the soldiers deal with it.
So it's more sort of, my instant reaction would be iron and fire than, oh yes, this is the thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, fair enough.
What you would know, though, is that firearms firing silvered bullets are very good against demons, and that's what turned the tide during a great war that happens in the past.
Ah.
Well, actually, how old are you, Asher?
Good question. Let me double check. I'm not that old. I am 24.
Oh, yeah, you definitely wouldn't know then.
Yeah.
Because this was like over a century ago, so...
Yeah, no, Asher is quite young. In which case, if it is my turn...
Mm-hmm. You have
Asher
high
will-
dex.
What was that?
I was just saying you have higher dex than Gobley, so it would be yours next.
Yeah.
How dare you.
I'm going to move up next to Vigar and attack this thing with my sword. Hold on. Let me actually bring it up. Okay, so attacking with my short sword. 13 enough to hit.
Yes.
Okay, and this will deal sneak attack damage because Vigor is next to it.
Mm-hmm.
10 points of damage.
Yep, that'd be enough to kill it with your sneak attack. So you come up, swing your sword at it, and you see the same thing that Vigor did. Like your sword goes, you don't feel as much resistance at all. Your sword just goes straight through it, and you see it shimmer, and it just falls off of Vigor and just goes flat on the ground and just starts dissolving on the floor.
I'm kind of freaked out by this. I'm like, that was a demon.
Vigor just sort looks back and goes, yeah, it was a demon. And then he shouts back at Gobbly to bring the torch up.
Before I get down, can I have a look around to see if I can see any more of these things?
Yeah, go for it. Give me perception, I guess.
11.
You don't see any more, but you
torch doesn't
see
really
that
extend
this
that far.
portal's... You see that the portal is sped up in its spinning.
Oh, do I think it's linked? Like we kill one, and it affects the portal somehow.
Gobbly wouldn't know since you haven't directly dealt with these. Like I should imagine that Gobbly would have seen these and gone fuck that and run the other way.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, you wouldn't really know.
All right.
Would I notice the portal spinning up?
Give me perception.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you definitely see that it's spun up. Like, you glanced at it just before attacking this thing, and then right after you hit it, it's got a little bit louder, started spinning a little bit faster.
I point it out to Vigor, basically. Should it be doing that, or should we be worried?
Vigor looks up at it and says there's more on the way then.
Oh, fantastic.
How do
And
we
he
close
starts
that
moving
thing?
towards it. You are?
How do we close that thing? Is Ash's next question.
Vigor's already started running that way, and he'll just shout back saying, "We kill him."
Gobbly's got to look at Asher like, what the fuck?
As Vigor reaches about this point, like if you guys were going to run after him afterwards and move yourself up.
I've got the torch, by the way.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at Asher like, is this a good idea? Normally I run away. Running towards it seems counterproductive.
Asher turns to Gobbly and says, "I'm still playing you, right?"
Damn. All right, I'm gonna run
Good.
and follow behind.
Asher will just sort of like getting some of his bravado back. He says, "Well, we wanted to be heroes," and then run after Vigor.
All right, Gobbly's bringing up the rear.
Okay. As you reach about this point, God, switching between layers is awkward as hell. The thing gives like a really loud pop noise, and all of a sudden 3 things fall out of it, which you'll be able to see once my thing has decided it wants to keep up. Don't know what's up with my browser today. It's been really sluggish.
Too much porn.
Token layer. There you go.
Oh Jesus! What the hell are they?
Mains. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it, since it's spelt that way.
They look like giant
There you go,
blobs
I'll
with
post
faces and
it back.
arms.
It's kind of what they look like in the monster manual as well. That's why I went with that token. And these things pop out, and they're literally just like, yeah, big fat blobs of what looks like putrid material, and they just collapse out of this thing. And instantly they all just snap their heads round at you. And I guess I better roll them initiative. I'll just stick with yours for now because
Yeah.
We haven't really.
nothing much has
broken
really
this.
happened. Objects.
Gobbly is regretting holding the torch at this point.
20 plus 2. 11. So yeah, all you guys get to react first, although Vigar does first. So Vigar
just a general reminder to you, Vigar can smite.
Yeah.
And I think in this situation he probably would.
He needs to smote.
Don't worry, I was well ahead of you there, Rose.
Thank you. I just don't want them to.
So yeah, Vigar runs up and gives a cry as he swings out with his greatsword at the first one. Which 13 hits.
Oh god, he has a lot of damage.
And then he's got his smite on top of that, which I need to quickly have a quick check of what smite is.
It's 2d8 radiant.
Holy crap, yeah, that will 2d8 with 2. So that's a minimum of 4. Oh yeah, he just fucks it. I mean, I ain't even gonna roll. Even if he rolls minimum on smite, that thing's dead.
It's not plus anything, it's just a flat sort of 2d8 on top of that 10.
Yeah, but this is a fiend, which means it takes double damage from...
It's
I
double
see.
damage day.
I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it is double damage from...
I can't remember how weaknesses work. I think it might just be an extra 5.
For what?
Oh no, it doesn't actually have weakness to it. I thought it did. No, never mind then. So I will have to roll the 2d8. Which is enough to kill it anyway,
Excellent.
because it's magical damage anyway.
Yay!
So that one's dead. How many uses of smite does he get?
It uses a first level spell slot each time he does it.
Ah, well he still has all of his, so I'll just tick those off. So, on to Asher. What do you do?
I guess I'd move up and attack the one next to him. Like, I would have been running for this one, but seeing him basically just kill it, I'd change direction and sort of veer around this side.
Yeah, as he swings his sword down, you see it glow, and as it smacks the thing, it just disintegrates instantly.
And then it's short sword for sneak attack. Oh god, so close to a crit.
Nearly.
And that's, 8.
And your sneak
Plus-
attack?
8 plus 4, so that's 12 points of damage total.
8 plus 4? Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I see. Rolling one of these.
And then with my dagger in my offhand, I'm going to... Actually, no, do I? No, I'm going to use my cunning action to disengage. And
do you know if sneak attack is affected by your weapon property? As in, would sneak attack be additional damage which is just flat, or does it count resistances?
I think it would count resistances. I'm not sure.
I did have a quick check before, but I couldn't find anything on it. I thought you might know.
I'd say where it's... That's a hard one. That's sort of up to the GM, I think, in the 5th edition. I'm just
Well,
trying to see
considering, in that case, considering sneak attack is about you getting the jump on them and exploiting a weak point, I'd say that it's separate. So ignores resistances.
Yeah, it just says an extra 1d6 damage, so I'd actually say that would count as the weapon.
Alright, and well, if it's worded like that, then
So,
yeah. So
yeah.
that would be 12 down to 6. Oh, bollocks, I've been doing this wrong. Don't worry, these things aren't... I've written these down wrong in my own bloody notes. They don't actually have resistances to slashing or anything like that.
Well, the good thing about being a DM is you can pretend that they do.
Yes. Never admit your mistakes.
Okay, I'll pretend that they do.
Yeah.
Follow the words of Bob Ross. There are no mistakes, only happy accidents.
Happy accidents.
Will be a happy accident if they now kill you because of that.
But yeah, sort of, I'm guessing I encountered that sort of same resistance.
Yeah.
And seeing this one doesn't immediately die, yeah, I'm gonna just use my cunning action as my bonus to just pull back slightly behind Vigor.
Oh, it's because the fucking Quasit has resistance to it.
Yeah, and that's my turn.
Okay. Gobbly.
Okay. I'm still holding the thing, so I'm going to drop that. I'm going to move
Oh yeah, that's dim light, he's fine.
from here. We got one. Hang on. How do we measure? With the measuring stick? Okay. I'm going to move to there. We got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That should be okay. Alright, yep. So I'm going to move up to here. And I'm going to hit him in the face repeatedly with... I'm going to hit him with the big one because I may not get another chance to. I'm going to hit him with... Which bolt? Which bolt? That bolt.
That bolt right there. Which one were you aiming for?
The closer one, the one I've already damaged.
Alright, do damage.
Hit him with lightning.
What type of damage is
Lightning.
Witch Bolt?
It's lightning.
Okay. You have to click
Oh,
on
hang
the
on. Sorry, I clicked
where
on
it
the wrong
says
thing.
Witch Bolt.
Oh, that was rolled to hit. How do I roll to damage?
You just click Witch Bolt in chat where it's
Oh, right, I
giving
see.
you
Yeah,
your
yeah.
rolls.
Okay. I was going to say, that was a lot of damage. Level 1. Oh, yeah!
That's enough to kill him. You actually hit him with the lightning. He's again instantly disintegrates and just disappears.
Gobbly holds his fists up, and his little fists up there like, yes!
I've made that mistake again.
What did you
Giving a turn order to something that dies.
do? Now, I'm going to use
What do if I do it this way?
one of my sorcery points to cast
Dots.
another spell as a bonus action rather than a regular action. I think it's called... I can't remember what it's called. It's one of the things I can do as a sorcerer. It allows me to essentially cast 2 spells. Or one. I can cast 1 spell as like a regular action, and then 1 spell as a bonus action. And it's called...
Yeah.
It's called...
Bear in mind though, you've used 2 of your first spell slots.
Oh shit, I have. Yeah, well,
So you're
yeah,
down to
yeah,
1.
I was going to use Eldritch. Not Eldritch. Yeah, Eldritch Blast. So, what was it called? What is it called? Distant spell, empowered spell. No.
Is this using your sorcery points or something?
Yeah, since I haven't used them yet. It's not careful spell. It's not distant spell. It's not empowered spell. Extended spell. Heightened spell. Quicken spell. Thank you. So I'm going to use my 2 sorcery points. Oh, can I roll
that's
my
meta magic, which you don't get till 3rd level.
lies and slander? Shit.
Yeah, that is meta magic.
Okay, well I will do that next time.
The good news is you can spend those sorcery points to get your 2nd level spell slot back.
I think that's what
Yeah.
I might do. I'm going to get my my second. Was it 2nd level spell or first level spell?
1st level spell.
You'll now have 2 first level spells left.
So I've used.
You've used 2, but
Oh,
because
I
you're
see,
using
yeah.
your thingy.
So I have 3 by default. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've used color
I don't know
spray.
why it says 0 on that.
Oh, because I probably just haven't actually done it up yet. So I've used color spray and witch bolt. I haven't actually cast mage armor on myself. So I've got 1 left. Is that right? What do I get?
2.
I've got 2.
If you want to use your sorcery points now to get your spell slot back, then you'll be up to 2.
Sure, why not?
Honestly, I don't think there's anything else you can do with your sorcery points right now. Anyway.
No, I just realised then that I need to be 3rd level, so fantastic. Okay, and I will. There's something else I was going to do, but I forgot what it was. No, I got nothing. I'm just going to go, yeah, pump my little fists in the air, and be like, yes, Goblin did something.
Well, this thing's just gonna go straight for vigor. But just before he does, there's another loud pop.
Oh, actually, sorry, I know what I was going to do. Can I roll my d20?
Yep. That's a good point. We forgot to do that.
Oh
Well,
god.
Oh yeah.
time to roll on the table.
Yeah. Okay. So, as a sorcerer, in tune with the wild magics, I have to occasionally, because I have a very, very, very loose grip on how my magic works, I have what's called a wild magic surge. And occasionally what can happen is spells go wrong, even though they still go off correctly. Bad things happen to me. So, it's a D100.
Isn't that only if you roll a 1?
No, we got special rules for that.
Yes, normally, but because of Gobley's background and Xenon wanted the hilarity, we've house ruled that it builds up over time.
That's fine.
Okay, so I rolled 35.
Roll a d10, your age changes by a number of years equal to the roll. If the roll is odd, you get younger. If the roll is even, you get older.
You know, I could end up being 2 years old on a bad roll here. D10, so if it's... the roll is odd, I get young. Okay.
Yeah.
10! I am now 22.
Considering that you only live to like 30 odd as a goblin,
I almost
you've just
doubled
lost
my
a
age.
third of your life.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm now... I've gone from 12 to 22. I'm suddenly a much older and wiser goblin than I was 10 seconds ago.
Older, maybe.
Well, yes. So I'm imagining some sort of like explosion of flame and lightning, and I age in front of you.
And luckily, though, as these three things pop out, the portal just vanishes. Like, they pop out and then it just collapses in on itself and disappears. But this thing is going to take a swing at Vigor. Where's that?
Ooh.
15. What was Vigor's armor class?
That's a miss.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
it
got
is.
crazy armor class.
I think he's only armor class 16 actually, but
It is 16, but like,
Compared to
yeah,
Goblin, that's
I
crazy.
remember that.
yeah.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure I have armor class 16.
You're all crazy.
Oh no, 14. Apologies. I will have armor class 16 eventually.
One day.
One day.
So, Vigor's gonna give a slash back. And does hit it. 11, and then I guess he'll do smite on top. What was it? It was 2d8, wasn't it?
2d8.
Oh dear. Ooh, 3, 11 goes down to... Right. So yeah, it gives it a good smack. It's not disintegrating like the others were, but it's on the ground. Now it's just crawling and trying to claw up at Vigor.
Excellent.
So now it's on to Asher.
I will... Seeing the other demons, I will not be happy, and I will sort of point at Vigor. There's more of them, and the portal's gone. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. But then I will step up and stab the demon again.
Okay.
Short sword. I'm guessing an 8 is going to miss.
Yep.
I sadly do not have advantage. In which case, I will follow it up with my dagger.
That hits.
Ooh. That will hit, and this is at a flat d4. 2 points of damage.
It's enough to kill it. So that one, you stab it in the head, and it just instantly starts dissolving in front of you, the same way the other demons did.
I look up at the others and sort of smile nervously and sort of say, Hi. And that is my turn.
Back to Gobbly.
Okay. I think I'm gonna have to move up because I think that my range on my spells is like 30 feet. Oh. Oh shit! It's only 15 feet. Damn. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Isn't one of your spells like 120 feet?
Eldritch Blast, I think, is 120 feet, and I can shoot him with a crossbow.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna double check Witch Bolt. I think it's either 30 or 60 feet. I don't remember. Oh, come on. Okay, Witch Bolt. 30 feet. Yeah, so I'd need to get closer to do more damage to them. I'm wondering, should I get up there and color spray them? I don't know.
You can try.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could feasibly. It's a 15-foot cone. I don't know if I'd get all of them. I'd get 2 of them at least.
Seeing as I have dark vision, I'm guessing I've seen them and sort of just alerted Vigar to it.
Yeah, they're slightly out of Vigar's range right now. He would have seen them as the portal collapsed, but now he cannot see anything over there.
I don't know. What do we think? I'm thinking.
I think just deal as much damage as possible to them.
Okay. Well, in that case, I guess Witch Bolt is the way to go. So 1, 2, 3. I don't want to get super close. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna Witch Bolt that this prick on the end. Okay. Here we go. Oh,
That's a hit.
oh so close to a crit. So close.
You could technically have made that with advantage by one of your wild magic powers.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I can give myself advantage, but I don't think I can declare that after the fact.
No.
So that's the problem with the rolling 2 dice at once, is that you can't go, oh well, I'm going to give myself advantage and then roll again. It's because it's already rolled and you already know the outcome.
Yeah.
So no, that's fine. I'll just hit him. Okay, so it's that one. Level 1. Here we go. Oh, double 12. Suck it. Suck it.
Jesus.
Fat ugly thing.
So yeah, that's just 12 points of lightning damage straight to its gut.
Straight to the face.
Don't forget to roll your d20.
Oh yeah, my d20. And also, actually, it's d12 plus I'm going to hit him with Fury of the Small to give him an extra 2.
Oh yeah, I
So
forgot about that. Let me
I
just
can only
double
do
check how
I
big
can
that
only do
is.
it once every short
Oh,
long.
they're small as well.
Oh, are they? Oh, damn!
Yep.
I can't catch
These
a break
things
to
are
them.
small.
Yep.
They're ugly as fuck. Okay, so 12
They're
points of damage.
small fiend, demon, chaotic evil. Apparently.
I was imagining them sort of like being at least human-sized sort of bloated figures, but now like
Yeah, the token is probably a bit big.
they're basically like waddling fat babies.
Yeah. I'm wishing
Yep,
little
pretty
Jabba the Hutt.
much.
That's even more sinister.
I rolled a 7 for my surgery roll.
Okay. Well, you don't blow up yet then.
Thank God. Okay, that's me done.
So yeah, these things just shamble up and get
Wait,
all
that
up in your
thing's still
face.
alive?
Yep.
I had 12 points of damage.
As the lightning hit it, it went straight through his stomach, but straight afterwards it just sort of resealed around itself.
Bastards.
On the
And
plus side, with Witch Bolt, you can just deal it damage again next turn.
Oh yeah, I don't actually have to cast it again. I didn't think of that. Ooh.
if it survives to next turn.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Right, his first one's going on you, Asher.
How did I
And
guess that?
misses. And the other two, 1 hits, 2 hits. Onto
They're
Vigor.
both against Vigor?
Yep.
That's fine, they can attack Vigor.
That was just a case of they went towards the nearest one, so 4 and 6. I'm just going to double check since I've got other things wrong.
So that's 1 and 3 points of damage he takes.
Yep.
But to be fair, he is our tank, so that's him doing his job.
Yeah.
Soak it up, bullet sponge.
And then back to Vigor. And Vigor, being as pissed as he is now, although Lemposs would never admit it.
No, Vigor got quite bloodthirsty, I remember.
That is true, yeah. He probably would against demons as well, to be fair, given his... Whoops, that was a flail. Great sword.
Even better.
Yeah. And he'd go for the one in front of you, I'm guessing, Asher. And we'll finish it off, because Gobbly already hit that one.
Oh, damn it. I could have done more damage.
Yeah, that
to-
was sort of like
We may have to
the
talk tactics
least
after this.
worrying
Yeah.
one.
I guess you
No,
are
no, it's
correct
fine.
there.
Just kill him. It's fine.
If
Yeah.
you'd have said for Lemposs to hit another one, he would have.
Well, I was actually
so-
I was gonna yell at Asher and say, "Don't kill that one," because obviously there's a bolt of lightning that connects the two, during the round. So, but that's all right. I'll find another way to kill it.
Okay. And now we're on to you, Asher.
Okay. I will stab at the demon babies. Using my short sword.
The demon babies.
That's a hit.
That's a hit. Not as good.
Nope.
Sneak attack damage, so that's 7 total. And following it up with an attack with my dagger.
You had 2 attacks.
2 weapon fighting.
You wouldn't have needed to follow up. He would have been dead.
Would have been dead,
Mm-hmm.
but that one hadn't taken damage.
Oh no, it hadn't, had it? Oh, fuck's sake. Apologies. Yeah, go on.
So does 12 hit?
Yes.
Oh wow, at least these guys are easy to hit.
Like you said, they are just babies.
Kill the demon babies.
What the hell is happening to my chat box?
I know, it's gone crazy.
Four points of damage to the second one.
Okay. And do you get sneak attack? Oh no, because you can only do that once. a
No,
turn.
I can only do it once a turn.
Okay.
And
It's
technically,
still
as
up.
it's my bonus action, I can't withdraw or do anything like that either.
Yeah. It's looking very pissed off at you, but it's still up.
Actually, I haven't moved this turn, so I can use my move to disengage.
Yes, you can. And can't you do it as a bonus action now anyway, because you're...
No, because I use my bonus action to sneak attack.
Oh, okay. Good job you're on top of that. So now it's on to Gobbly.
Me again.
You again.
Well, he killed the one that I was going to whack in the face. So I will. I guess I'll hit it with Eldritch Blast because it's really the only thing I've got left. It'll be fine. Eldritch Blast. 13, 16, and 12.
That's a hit. Was it the nearest one you were going for?
Yeah, whatever's closest.
Okay.
And I shall roll. Do that damage. 5 points of damage. Oh, hang on.
You
no,
hit it.
it's- Oh, sorry, no, it is 5. Yep.
Yep. You hit it and it just goes flying off into the distance and you see it dissolving midair.
Yeah, 2 kills for Gobbly. Gobbly earns his keep today.
Asher, upon seeing this, will basically look at Goblin and say, "Good work, friend."
Gobbly gives an awkward fist bump.
It manages to hit Vigor.
That's fine. Vigor can
Oh
take
wait,
it.
that's first one. So, wait, is it 2d? No, it's 2d4, so 3. Minus
Doesn't
3,
deal
so he
damage.
falls,
It
yeah.
scrapes against his armor plating.
Yep. Vigor manages to swing his arm round in front of his attack and just scrapes along his chain but doesn't get any grip. And then as he swings back again, he brings his greatsword around. And greatsword. Hits it and Hits it pretty well, but again, it's a case of it's still standing.
Okay. My turn?
Yep.
I will move round and attack with my short sword. $15 hits.
Yep.
And sneak attack, of course, so that's 13 points of damage.
Oh,
Is enough to kill it. Yep.
Excellent.
So again, it just falls to the ground and dissolves in front of you. And Vigar looks back at you and says, "There aren't any more."
I'm rather relieved about that.
And I guess at this point, Vigar would heal himself.
Yeah, Vigor's the only one who's taken damage in this entire fight.
Oh no, you smite twice, so you can't do that. So yeah, he would recover 5.
Yeah. Maybe we should head back to town for the night.
can I check these things to make doubly sure that these were what were attacked the farmer's daughter or whoever it was?
You can go have a look if you like at where they were, but all you see is like little piles of ash.
Oh
and
yeah.
burnt grass, and that's it.
It's not really going to tell me very much, is it? Okay. Gobbly kicks the ash.
Yeah, I'd say I think I'd much rather head back to the town. The spiders are one thing. Portals to the hell dimensions and demons are another thing entirely.
Gobbly liked in killing the demon babies. I preferred the demon babies over the spider, that's for sure.
Vigar just shrugs and says, "Oh, I can deal with demons."
Asher is looking quite nervous and sort of says, "Well, okay, if you guys want to continue, I suppose I did drag us this far, so I can't back out now."
By the way, it's really hard to predict what Lemposs would say in these situations.
So I'm guessing we carry forward.
It's up to you two.
Well, I have one level 1 spell and all my cantrips left. I haven't taken any hits, but I didn't do my wild magic surge for my second attack. Should I do
That's
that
true,
now?
you didn't.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Just for funsies. 1d20. There we go.
If you age another 10 years, you
Yeah, I
might
know. I'll be
die.
dead.
I was about to
No,
say,
you're
if you
right.
roll a 1 and then basically just explode after the damage or whatever.
It was fun, guys.
Just go,
No, you're still good.
Okay. Should we at least take a short rest so we get our spells and stuff back?
You can't recover spells on a short rest.
What? What bullshit
It's
is
long
this?
rest. You
Okay.
can eventually as a sorcerer, but you can't yet.
Yeah, I say head back to town for now and just sort of say to the guards, "Hey, we found a demon portal outside of town."
Should we tell the farmer guy? The guy whose daughter got bitten?
I'm not honestly sure if this is related or whether we were just very unlucky stumbling upon this portal.
That's just true. We didn't even get to the hunter guy either, did we?
No, we were on the way there.
Yeah.
Asher would turn to Vigor and say, "Are demons poisonous? Could they have been what attacked the girl?"
Bear in mind that the guy, the apothecary, said that he's pretty sure it's not demons.
That is true, and I was
Yeah.
I was surprised when demons turned up, and I was like, oh. You said it wasn't demons, you prick.
Point. So it's sort of like Asher's sort of like, "Yeah, I don't think this is related, but at the same time, let's just say the night just got a bit darker for me."
So you guys head back then?
Well, we could. The other option is to head up to the hunter's cabin and hang out there. Because then we don't have to walk all the way back and then come all the way back.
Actually, a
again.
good point. Yeah. I mean, we should nearly be there.
Yeah, did we we were given basic directions on where this guy lived. Do we know
Yeah.
how much further?
You
it's
weren't
likely
really
to
given distance, to be fair.
be? Well, let's chance it. Surely nothing can go wrong.
Surely.
Alright.
And so, yeah, Asher will.
Yep, I'm voting. Go ahead. It's a democracy after
Yeah,
all.
Okay.
I'm fine to go ahead.
Well, you do make it the rest of the way without any issue. By the time you approach the cabin, it's well into the night. The moon's pretty high up. And you see the cabin ahead, but all the lights are off. As far as you can tell, it looks abandoned. It is literally just a little shack. Probably just one room in there. So what do you guys do?
Asher would walk up and sort of knock on the door.
You hear it's just snoring from inside.
I would knock harder.
You hear like a snort and a bit of noise inside. And then you hear from behind the door, you want to be fucking careful.
There's 3 of us.
I don't care how many of you. I don't care how many of you are. I'll take the lot of you bastards. You really think I'll come out here
was
unarmed?
about to say, if you would let me finish, friend, we came here from. Did we get the name of the farmer?
I guess you would have mentioned it at some point.
We would have gotten his name, but I don't think we ever sort of. Yeah, we came from the nearby farm. His daughter had been attacked by some form of giant insect spider thing. We're not sure, but once the sun came down, we were attacked by demons. We just need a place to spend the night.
Horrible.
We can discuss this more in the morning.
He just shouts back at you like, actually no, give me persuade.
That is what I do.
Don't fuck it up.
Yeah, I was about to say he does this, but you are trying to persuade him, so. Oh boy.
Oh dear.
He just says back to you, you know you bandits really need to work on your excuses. Now fuck off or I'm going to start blasting.
He's a hunter, isn't he?
Yes.
Should I just like Eldritch Blast the door?
Please don't. I'm standing here.
Well, obviously I'm not going to Eldritch Blast you, but you know, we need to get in. He's in the way. Let's just open the door.
We need to get in to talk to him.
Well, they'll probably be a bit more receptive after we blast him in the face.
Asher would sort of sigh and step down off the porch and say, "You're making a mistake, friend," and just.
Well, I was sort of asked. I'm looking for reassurance that is the right thing, the right course of action.
If Gobley openly says to Asher, "Should I blast the door in?" Asher would say no. But if Gobley wants to do it, Asher isn't paying attention.
Where's Vigor at this point?
I'd imagine that Vigor's just behind you two, holding his torch because he can't see jack shit without it.
Oh, that's it. The door's getting it.
Well, you can easily hit the door because it's not going anywhere. Just roll damage for me to see what happens.
Okey-doke. 9.
Oh, Christ.
Technically, the door is bigger than me, so I get to add a +2 to that.
You hit the door, and the door smashes in. And takes some of the door frame with it, and bits of wood splinter off from outside of the door frame as well. You've basically just blown a hole into his cabin.
So I turn and look at Asher and go, "That's 3 kills now."
And from inside you hear, "What the fuck?"
Which
And
would
then
be basically echoed by Asher as well. Like, what the hell? Gobley! No!
It's like we didn't open the door, and the door's open. Gobbly sees no problem.
And then a gunshot comes from
Jesus.
inside.
I forgot about the guns. Oh dear.
Christ's sake. Be helpful to type it.
Oh, so like,
Oh, Jesus. That
Oh,
was
Jesus.
a disadvantage as well.
Holy shit. Oh dear.
So, a gunshot racks out from inside, and Ashley, you've stepped away from the door.
I would have stepped away into the side.
So yeah, this gunshot racks out and just smacks into Gobbly, I guess.
Oh, oh fantastic.
That's 4 for him, yeah. For 8 damage. Oh wait, why is that a D20? That's not going to be a D20. You could have got a lot worse there, Jesus. It's D8 for them. For 7, so it's actually got less anyway.
So 13 down to... Okay. Gobbly's got to stagger back slightly, holding... Where did you shoot me?
I'll say it's just like in the shoulder, like it's... Because it's not actually killed you outright, it's just clipped your arm, like near the shoulder. And gone through and through.
Oh, I only rolled me D20. Whoops.
Oh yeah. Might have exploded.
Oh god!
Yep, roll the D100.
Oh, it's super effective. Alrighty.
Oh god!
Is that 98? Holy shit!
98. Oh dear. You are
So-
surrounded by faint ethereal music for the next minute.
What?
Okay.
Oh, that's alright. Oh, if I
Good job
rolled
you're not
one
trying to
more,
hide.
I could have got my bloody sorcery points back. Damn.
Yeah. I don't think there is actually one that will outright kill you, except for getting older.
No,
Oh,
I don't think
look
it. I don't think it quite works like that. I mean, there are
That's
things that
just
could
boring
feasibly
wild
kill you in a
magic,
certain
isn't it?
situation, but I don't think it's anything that outright kills you.
Yeah, you can take damage as well, but it
Yeah.
also doesn't outright kill you. So, yeah, they've dulled it down a bit since 4th because then you could literally just fucking explode. So yeah, just before this gunshot comes out, you start hearing really quiet music off in the distance. Kind of sounds like a harp playing. And then the gunshot comes out and smacks Gobbly.
Although I will point out, if he had gained vulnerability, if he had rolled 96 instead and gained vulnerability to piercing damage,
That is true. You would have actually taken like extra damage on it. Yeah.
Well, actually, it would have been me and everybody within 30 feet of me.
yeah, but you're the one getting shot.
Yeah, I know.
So
Asher would basically start swearing and basically die for Gobbly, saying, don't shoot this fucking goblin."
should probably roll initiative. This wasn't intended to be a combat scenario, but you did just blow up half his house. So.
Well, he gave me a little lip. I got 3. You rolled a 1.
Oh,
Oh dear, we're all caught off guard slightly by this guy with a gun.
Pretty much, yeah. I would rather roll the 1 in initiative, where it doesn't actually mean anything.
and he rolled a 21.
I mean, it really didn't matter. He had to. He could have rolled a 9 and still gone at the same time. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, look,
Who is
everything
this
else is
guy?
still on the
Mark
top.
fucking Wahlberg from Shooter?
Yeah.
He just has. He has +2 from his dex. That's it. And yet he's just smashing you guys.
We fight off a horde of demons to die from a fucking
Die from a hunter. Yeah.
Yes, he stumbles to the door, and you see him. What are they called? Can't remember what they're called now. Do you know the rifles where they've got the little lever on? Well, lever action. That's it. He's
Yeah.
like a lever action rifle, and he clicks it back
Lever
down.
action rifles exist in this world.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's repeating rifle is what they call it here, but
Yeah, that's just a lot more advanced than I thought they would have had.
it's definitely up there. But there are worse ones. Like, because there's different variants of it. Like, this is a 2-shot one, and there's a 4-shot one, which would be like the ultimate.
Okay.
And I guess he'd take aim at Vigor, because Vigor technically hasn't moved yet, and he just sees this guy standing there in fucking heavy armor. So
Yes, please shoot at someone else.
which hits Vigor, but doesn't hurt him
Fuck's
too bad. So it's -2 of Vigor. To which Vigor will be like, "What the fuck?" Well, it's Lemposs. Oh boy, what was that?
Oh boy.
And what would Vigor do? I'm guessing Vigor would
Vigor-
actually run at him, to be honest, and try and
Yeah,
bludgeon
he'd
him.
run and try and grapple him.
Yeah. So I guess that's what he's doing. I'd say he's close enough, especially if he's, you know, with a torch. So that's a post. Was it a post strength checks? Didn't this happen
It's a
yesterday?
strength athletics check for Vigor,
Yep.
and either a strength athletics or acrobatics roll for the hunter, whichever is higher.
So yeah, Vigor tackles him and just gets him on the ground. And now it's over to you, Asher.
Asher would sigh, stand up, look down at Goblin and say, "Don't move."
Gobbly is like,
He he then walk over to the guy, pick up the rifle, basically cock it again to basically empty out the chamber, and kneel down in front of him and say, "Look, I'm telling the truth. That one over there is a complete and total idiot.
I heard that.
But we came here for your help. It has been a long night. I have fought demons, which is something I hoped never to do in my life. I am tired. It is dark. It is cold. And we were here trying to help one of your friends because his daughter got bitten and nearly died if it wasn't for us."
During that time, I keep going to call you Wilf Gobley. Do you do anything?
I'm gonna crawl out of line of sight, I guess, and use my bonus action to hide.
Well, because that was longer than 6 seconds, Rose.
Yeah,
I mean,
know
if
that
you're
was
actually going to
only 6
monologue like
seconds,
that, yeah. I will say that he's pissed off enough that he's going to try and grab a dagger from his boot and just dig it into Vigor.
but can I actually do a persuasion check with that, though?
You can, yes, but you'll get to stab Vigor first because you're trying to talk over him.
18.
Okay, hold on a sec. I'll do this first.
Yeah, he would definitely get dagger attacking first.
Well, I'll say it's a disadvantage. Not that it matters. Yeah, you finish it. And he says, "Yeah, and blow up half my fucking house in the process. I'm not fucking stupid."
I said the goblin is an idiot.
Who the fuck goes around with a fucking goblin?
It's a long story. Look, think of it this way. If we wanted to kill you, you would already be dead. We would not knock on your door in the middle of the night. We would open it quietly and kill you.
Then he'd say like, well, if that's the case, I ain't gonna fucking help you. Piss off. And would be trying to push Vigor off of him. He'd say like, "I'm going to tell the fucking guards about this, and you're going to be chucked in prison. This is my home, and you've just blown a hole in the wall. I don't care if it wasn't you specifically. You're with the one that did it."
And I am not trying to dodge the blame. I will take responsibility, and I will pay to fix the door. And trust me, I am.
It's not just the door. He's like looking at the wall now, and he's like, "You've blown up half the fucking wall. You're gonna have to rebuild an entire building. This is ruined."
Was it really that powerful?
Yeah, they rolled a 9 for
Does
damage.
Gobley? Yeah, I was gonna say it depends. Like in my head, I was thinking it depends on how high Gobley rolls. And since he rolled one less than max, like if he'd rolled max, I would have said it just blew the entire building in.
And it is actually force damage. It's not like piercing damage or lightning or anything like that.
So that's what I was saying. Like, yeah, he's blown the wall. These basically parts of the wall have also splintered inwards from the blast.
Asher sort of just sighs and says, okay, Vigor, let him go. We're gonna head back to town and we will turn ourselves in. I am too tired, too stressed, and we were here trying to help. We tried talking to you. And yes, the goblin is an idiot, but you didn't have to think we were bandits.
Who the hell? Who else comes knocking on your house in the middle of the night in the middle of the woods?
I told you exactly who.
Yeah, and do you realise how many bandits tried that shit before? There's a reason there was already a hole in the door. A lot smaller hole than the one you just put in it.
Ah, so there's pre-existing damage. Insurance won't cover that.
Okay, honestly, this is out of character. Is banditry as bad as this guy is making out? Because he's still relatively close. A guy came in mid-afternoon and we got to the farm before it was dark. On foot.
I would say that you wouldn't necessarily know because you've only just arrived in town. And this is a very small town.
I wouldn't know because I was travelling through this area. If banditry is as bad, I would have been robbed 5 times on the road.
This is very off the beaten path, though, bear in mind. And bandits wouldn't move along main roads where they can be spotted easily. They would ambush on main roads, but they wouldn't use them to move along.
Asher would just sigh and just walk back, sort of saying, Vigor, let him go. Let's just head back to town. This was a dumb idea.
Vigor would just follow you.
Gobley's going to think... I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to salvage the situation, but I'm coming up with nothing. Do you still have his gun?
I would have left it there. I would have emptied it and then just sort of left it there.
Maybe
he would have picked it back up, loaded a single round into it, and just, kept it at his side and watched you leave.
It's like maybe
as you're leaving.
Time up and sleep here. I mean, we could spend all night trying. Well, we'd have to kill him.
Like, I wouldn't approve to blasting a freaking hole in his door. You are not in my good books right now.
Well, he shot at me.
After you blew a hole in his door.
Well, he wasn't being very receptive. I didn't want to walk all the way home. We'll probably get ambushed on the way home. I mean, is it more dangerous to tie him up and just convince him overnight while we sleep, or is it worse to walk all the way back home?
Asher genuinely believes he's not going to be convinced at this point, and to be fair, Asher kind of agrees with him right now. He agrees with him more than he agrees with Gobley right now.
Gobley makes friends everywhere he goes.
So yeah, Asher's just going to turn around and head back through the forest, heading home.
Gobley's like, Alright, Gobley's got to follow. We still need to get the information from you, that's the problem.
Well, we're not going to get it now. We'll probably get it tomorrow when we're in freaking prison.
Well, I'm not going back to prison.
Who says Asher's going to give Gobley a choice? You've just attacked an innocent man.
I did not attack an innocent man. I attacked his door.
which you knew he was standing directly behind.
Well, I didn't know he was standing directly behind it. I thought he was just, at the window or at the
But
side.
yes, we start heading back through the woods. Asher is... He has a simmering anger just below the surface. He's not saying anything, but it doesn't take an insight check to see that he is quite angry right now.
Judging by how Lemposs treated Goblin last session, I'm imagining that he's rather pissed as well.
Alright, Goblin's going to follow along, but some distance behind.
Alright, well, you guys managed to make it back into town. Sort of very early morning. Sun hasn't risen yet, but you're starting to see it cresting on the horizon.
So if I get the
When we get
slightest,
to town,
if I get the slightest
Ash-
inclination that they're going to try and turn themselves in or turn me in, I am going to run.
You really got to ask yourself the question, would Goblin believe they're going to? You can tell they're pissed off.
Oh,
but...
I absolutely. They've told me that they're going to, and I'm like, hell no. It's just a matter of like, are we going to do it now, or are we going to somehow salvage the situation?
Would you be trying to hide that fact that you were just going to hand him in straight away?
I wouldn't be saying anything. You wouldn't know what I was thinking because I wouldn't be talking to Goblin right now. I wouldn't even be talking to Vigor.
Okay.
There's no real role you can do then.
No, okay. Well, I'm going to just follow behind then, somewhat cautiously. Not really, like, I don't feel like I've done the wrong thing, but the general consensus is that that was not the correct thing to do, so I'm going to keep my head down.
As we sort of reach the tavern, oh Christ. I know what Asher would do and I feel bad about it.
Don't feel bad, play the player. Play the player, play the character.
As we walk back through the tavern door, Asher would duck to one side, and when Goblin comes through, he would sneak attack him. He would attack him and knock him unconscious.
You motherfucker. Would I notice?
I'm willing to roll stealth.
Yeah, roll stealth, and Goblin, you roll perception,
Yeah.
and we'll do versus.
Oh, you mother... Roll good, Goblin. Roll good. Ah, damn it. I got 17. I'm going to use my Tides of Chaos. Oh, I can't now. Damn it. Okay. Well, that's what I've got. 17.
Alright, go ahead, Asher. You can use your normal sword damage, but we'll just say it's bludgeoning him over the back of the head.
There sort of is a thing to pull a killing blow sort of thing.
Oh, okay, we'll just do that then.
Yeah. Does
what's
11 hit, Gobby?
Yeah, my class.
What's your AC?
So that's 7 points of damage.
Oh, you bastard.
You down?
Yeah, I had 6.
Considering the gunshot wound.
Yeah, he's down. Technically, he's bleeding out, but since you pulled a killing blow, I'll just
pull the blow, he becomes stable but unconscious.
Yep.
It's basically using the flab of the blade to whack.
Yeah.
Then I basically pick him up, turn to Vigor and say, we're sticking this one in jail for now. He's just betrayed that trust.
I dare say Vic will be like, yep, do it.
And I basically walk back out the tavern toward the guardhouse.
Okay.
And... oh crap, I just remembered. The guardhouse currently has 3 prisoners who aren't too happy with Goblin in its own cell.
Well, you realise that as you're walking towards it, and you also probably realise yourself that it's probably locked up right now because it's not even dawn yet.
There wouldn't be any guards there?
There would probably be one outside, but the actually inside, probably not. Because there'd be patrols and there'd be one guy outside the guardhouse, but... well, we'd probably be inside the guardhouse, you're right.
Yeah, I basically walk up and knock on the door.
Hold on, I'll go back through my notes and find his name. But the guy that was originally with you guys when you first approached the castle last time. He opens the door and he sees it's you with Goblin over his shoulder, and he just says, "What happened?"
This one decided to attack one of the hunters on the outskirts of town. He blew a hole in the hunter's door. It's a long story. I am tired. We have been walking all night. We got attacked by demons. Just lock this fucking thing up for now."
Can't believe you read it yet.
And he'll basically... Yeah, the actual word.
He just says, "Oh, Captain's gonna love this."
And sort of
And he
Asher sort of
takes-
says, "Tell me about it." I'll wait here until he gets in.
Okay.
I'll freely stay, and sort of unslings all these bandoliers and weapons and sort of hands them to the guard, sort of saying, "I was involved in this. That little shit was sort of under my ward, I guess." Like, Asher's taking responsibility for this.
Well, he takes you back into the where the prisoners are held. Actually, I better switch you over to it. There we go. No, that didn't do it. There we go. And he says to you, like, opens it up and says, "All right, chuck him in."
I'll strip him. I can't believe I say this. Like, I'll take all his gear away. That's probably the best way to put it.
Bast.
I'll sort of, remove his backpack, all his gear, sort of anything obvious. But yeah, I'll take all that away and sort of leave it in, like, a pile over there. And
I would imagine that they have, like, a place for all that kind of gear in with the captain's office anyway, so...
yeah, I'm guessing the prisoners are asleep?
They definitely wake up as you come in, because they're not exactly quiet doors and whatnot.
Yeah, I slump Goblin in and I look at them and I say, "None of you touch him. I know he is a shit, and trust me, he will be dealt with. But if any of you touch him, I will find out." And this is especially said to the one who tried to kick Goblin.
He just looks at you and says, "And if he pulls any fucking magic shit, then he's going to be a fucking dead man anyway. A dead, whatever the fuck you want to call them things."
"Why do you think I've just chucked him in there with you?" And then I'll basically go sit at this table and fall asleep because we've been walking all night.
I'm guessing Vigar would just piss off back to the tavern.
Yeah, I assume Vigar probably would.
Dawn comes around and the captain comes in, and obviously whatever his name is, because I can't find it in my notes, we'll go talk to him. He's an not important character, and explains what happened to the captain. The captain bursts in and just says, "I knew that one would fuck up. I just fucking knew it. But nobody fucking listens, do they?"
We gave him a chance, and in some ways, we were trying to do the right thing.
By blowing a hole in a door.
I don't know what he was thinking.
Oh yeah, you are.
And I basically tell him the story about how basically the farmer came, we went, healed the daughter, we were out tracking, found the demon pool. Like, I basically give him the long version. And he's sort of like, and I'm just sort of like, he was doing so well up until then. I don't know. I actually kind of hoped he would prove different, but I take responsibility.
The captain stands there for a second quiet and then just says, "Take responsibility for your own if you want. To keep your own code of ethics if you want to say. But I'm not throwing you in there with him. As far as I'm concerned, you and your pal, the big guy, you've done good work for us. Him has been a fucking nuisance since the day we first met him.
I laugh.
I'm willing to let you slide for your involvement in this, but his not. I made it very clear that if he fucked up, then he'd be seeing a noose.
Oh god.
You see what
Asher
you've done?
would.
You see what you've done?
Asher has done what he thinks is right. Asher would sort of, I'm guessing he's just sort of got Gobley's stuff next to him for now, would pull up Gobley's money pouch and say, I'm not sure how much is in here, but it may help the hunter repair his door. He was quite irate.
The captain just says, well, he hasn't come in yet, but...
When he does, hopefully it will at least make him less angry at me.
He just says...
And I sort of say, and maybe do put out a warning for the hunters that there seem to be spiders or some form of giant poisonous insects around.
He just rubs his forehead and he's like, this is exactly what I fucking deal with first thing in the fucking morning. And this place doesn't even have coffee. And then he just says, well, go back to the tavern, stay there. If I need you, I'll come find you.
Asher sort of nods and picking up the gear that he previously handed over, goes back to the tavern and probably heads straight up to his room and just falls asleep.
Okay. I guess it'll be a couple of hours later then, and in your tavern room, you'll hear a knock on the door. And when you open it, it'll be Eddard standing there. He just says, your hunter friend turned up. He's not best pleased. He's calling for all of your heads. Captain's managed to at least talk him round to it just being the goblin. Honestly, I don't know if you're going to be able to help your friend here.
Honestly, you blow one hole in the door, everybody loses this shit.
Also,
Asher sort of says,
DM-wise, you did have a note that literally said you'd lose your head if you did anything illegal.
I may have forgotten about that particular part of the note.
and sort of like Asher sort of says, I gave him a chance. He helped us out. I tried helping him out, but it looks like a leopard can't change his spots.
Eddard just says, perhaps. There is one hope for him, I guess, in that maybe the governor will take a liking to him. My own right, though, I hope he doesn't.
Asher just bursts out laughing at that, just sort of like from just being tired about having composure, the thought of apparently this dour, sort of prim and proper governor taking a liking to Gobley.
Yeah.
Just, it's such a funny idea that Asher just basically bursts out laughing to the point of almost tears.
Eddard just replies with, yeah, that's what I thought as well. And he's like, honestly, I hope it does just go through to that, because if the governor lets him walk, the captain's going to be worse than usual to deal with.
Asher sort of says, I turned him in. I did my part. I don't think I will be in his good books. So I definitely don't think he is anymore my friend.
Eddard just nods and says, alright then. Well, I'm just a messenger here. And he turns and starts walking away.
And then Asher will sort of sigh, go back, sort of. He basically fell asleep in the travel clothes that he was in. Sort of get changed into something a bit more refined and head down to the tavern and sort of say, I will take whatever food you have available. And the strongest wine you have available.
Yep.
And basically, yeah, just order like a very late lunch, I'm guessing, at this point.
Yeah, it would be about midday-ish. Honestly, at this point, it's probably best to call it.
Yes, I think so. There's some things that need to be worked out.
Yeah, very much so.
I'm sitting here going over my spells like, I don't really have anything that's going to help in my particular situation. Okay. So, okay, yeah, well, we'll call it there, and we'll pick this up next week. Hopefully with... Lemposs back being Vigor, and hopefully with maybe Gobbly getting himself out of a rather sticky situation. I've heard on the grapevine that he is headed for the noose, but he's been in similar situations before. I'm sure he'll get in similar situations again. So, cool. All right. Well, thank you, Rose, for playing Vigor. For playing Asher. And thank you, Lyman, for being the DM and also playing Vigor. And
That was all good.
we'll see you all next week. Next stream should be tomorrow. I think I'm either playing My Summer Car or what am I playing? I think I'm playing. I had an idea about something I was going to play, but you'll have to tune in tomorrow to find out what it is. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. Thanks very much to everybody who played, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye!